But let's talk some sports media. Big piece of news is going to be coming out today. That's a judge's ruling on whether Diamond Sports Group is going to be able to get out of bankruptcy. But we've already seen a number of moves recently around that Diamond Sports Group universe. On one side, you have a team like the Anaheim Angels who have decided they had a stake in their regional sports network. They're going to be sticking with Diamond, likely taking a haircut. A lot of people say around 20% of what they were getting. Then you have a team like the Reds, a smaller market team. They're getting out of their deal with Diamond. And a lot of people are speculating that they're going to be going under the MLB umbrella, like a bunch of other teams have done. I think it's 6 teams at this point. But Molly, this has been one of the biggest things that both of us have been paying attention to in the space. Molly, are we going to have a final resolution today?
Austin, I wish I could give you an answer. They've already lasted a lot longer than I expected them to. Either way, we're going to know today if they emerge from bankruptcy or if the saga keeps going. If they do somehow manage to prolong this, we're going to do this all over again next year when the NBA and the NHL seasons end.
Molly, it feels like in-market streaming is such a crucial thing here. I think about it from Charlotte, my perspective. I haven't been able to see a Hornets game in a long time. I'm a YouTube TV subscriber. It feels like almost 3, 4, 5 years that I haven't been able to catch a game locally. And this isn't a team that's on a lot of national TV. So I want to, show my kids these games. I want to develop their fandom. And in-market streaming is going to be incredibly important for something like that.
It absolutely is. I'm seeing that happen more and more, the importance of streaming in local markets. Look at a Victory Plus that launched in Texas just in September. They've got Ducks and Stars games on there, and now they're getting into original content as well. And you're actually seeing Diamond recognize this. They're throwing things at the wall to see what'll stick. They're now this season offering single game packages, similar to what an MSG network does. And they've never done that before.
Molly, I got to be honest, the single game offering for NBA and NHL teams, that doesn't do it for me. I just don't see myself, buying a single regular season game. That's not something that I'd be particularly interested in. I want a season package so that I can tune in when I want, see the games that I want. I just don't see that getting much traction.
I would buy a playoff game, but those are national, so it doesn't matter.
I don't know if I'm going to have to worry about the Hornets on a national playoff package at this point, but, go Charlotte. Molly, also some news on the documentary side. Bill Simmons, Connor Shell of Words and Pictures, they're going to get together for a Celtics-focused documentary that's going to be on HBO. What do you think about that storyline?
I think it's fascinating. I mean, I'm obviously not a Celtics fan. I am not from Boston, but it's a dynasty and it's a story that'll be told. What's also really interesting to me about what Connor Shell and Words and Pictures have been doing, we know Connor's name from 30 for 30 ESPN. He's in the doc space for a while, but Words and Pictures is getting more into these longer form documentaries and they're distributing them across a variety of platforms. So that this one's coming to Max, but then you had Game 7 that just premiered on Amazon. Then you had Full Court Press, it's WNBA, and that's on ESPN Plus. Every streaming platform wants to get into sports, and Words and Pictures is there to meet them.
Yeah, I think that's one of the incredible things that he's been able to do, that his whole outfit has been able to do since he left ESPN, is they know there are a ton of streaming services looking for content. They were able to step back, and now they can create content wherever they see opportunities in the streaming landscape. But like you alluded to, Connor and Bill Simmons, both crucial to the genesis of that 30 for 30 project at ESPN. I think it's going to be really well received. I mean, I just got done watching Starting Five on Netflix. I thought that was a good basketball documentary. Another sports documentary I recently liked, that Mr. McMahon one, also on Netflix. So I'm here for it. I want as much sports documentaries as I can get.
We talk about it a little later in the pod with Adam Stern, but this Friday, you've got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson squaring off on Netflix. Well, that's a live event. I'm super curious to see how that'll go, and I think it's going to be a good test of Netflix's technology because there's going to be a lot of live viewers tuning in, and it could be an indicator of how it goes on Christmas Day when they have 2 NFL games.
Molly, another big development today are going to be the Disney earnings. We're already starting to hear, some Disney news here and there. There was a report in the Wall Street Journal about how the board of directors there is maybe looking completely outside of the Mouse House for its successor to Bob Iger. The name brought up was Andrew Wilson, who runs Electronic Arts. He ironically was a candidate for the role that Jimmy Pitaro got at ESPN in 2018. I think that could be a very interesting dynamic, but Electronic Arts, obviously a huge player in the game space. But with those earnings coming out today, coming out Thursday, what is the biggest thing on the Disney side you're paying attention for?
Well, I'm hoping an analyst asks a question about that report, but what I'm paying attention to is for any news on ESPN's upcoming product flagship. I want a name, I want pricing, I want a launch date.
Molly, also another big weekend of college football. Your Northwestern Wildcats taking on Ohio State. Which way is it going to go?
Listen, Austin, I'm still heartbroken from 2013, the first time ESPN showed up with game day to campus since the 90s, and we lost in the last quarter. We were leading the whole game. Haven't won against Ohio State since then, so I'm going to have to give it to number two, Ohio State, but I think it's going to be a beautiful day at Wrigley Field. I'm also just paying attention to Ohio State in general because next weekend we've got Ohio State, Indiana. I'm really excited for that.
My Yellow Jackets are kind of basking in the glory of knocking off Miami. Number 4, Miami. We're going to take a vacation this week, kind of soak it all in. We're bowl eligible now. We'll take on NC State next week. The game I'm really watching this weekend, though, Tennessee going between the hedges to take on Georgia. Go Vols. Got to see somebody knock off Georgia here. Anytime Georgia's playing their SEC team, I immediately become a fan of that team.
Georgia needs a win. They are dropping down in that CFP ranking.
But Molly, Northwestern got to win 2 of your last 3 to be bowl eligible. They going to do it?
You bet they are. Cardiac cats forever.